Hey there, welcome. Welcome to Rise and Receive, a reset point in your day designed to help you explore how to become a fortunate receiver, or as I like to say, how to receive your fulfillment by unlearning struggle. So I took a week break. There's been a lot of exciting activity in my life. And so here we are back again, and we are talking about wealth, receiving wealth. So if that's something that's of interest to you, if that's something that you'd like to welcome with greater ease, then what I have to share with you today is I'm going to be illuminating another blind spot that can actually block you from receiving wealth into your life. I'm trying to get back into the groove of this. It's kind of like I've taken a break and I sort of lost my rhythm. So, blind spots, that's what I'm passionate about. And I like to define a blind spot in this way. A blind spot occurs when your current point of view hides an essential insight. And I am here to teach the skill set of receiving, because receiving is its own very tangible, results producing skill set. I like to say that if you cannot receive what you most want if you don't know how to receive. So if you want to receive wealth, it isn't just enough to focus on wealth and building wealth and creating wealth and learning about wealth. You actually need to know how to receive wealth. And if you don't understand what receiving is, then you're going to keep working hard and over relying on the hard work ethic when wealth is actually always here. So we're going to talk about how that is true by illuminating this blind spot. So a blind spot, I've given you that definition. Let me tell you what happens with receiving blind spots specifically. A receiving blind spot occurs when you're operating as a human doing versus a human being. And a lot of us do that. We have a well-developed understanding of how to do and hunt and pursue and work hard. And that's the doing model of power, which is intention-based. However, the being model of power is just as necessary and has advantages to manifesting the things you want that the doing model cannot provide. Two advantages that I always like to illuminate is when you really tap into the being model of power, you can actually receive, I like the word beyond what you can conceive of on your own with your own mind, beyond what you can do with your own body and your own activity. So the beyond factor is an advantage to the being model of power, and speed is another advantage. You can bypass these linear next steps that we take when we're in the doing model of power, because when you tap into the being model of power, all sorts of things can come in directly rather than consecutively. So we know how to do. That's very well trained and ingrained in our consciousness. But the power of being, a lot of people, when they start to hear me talk about, they go, what's the power of being? I'm just being. I'm just sitting. I'm not doing anything. Well, the being model is where you start to tap into things that take you beyond your inner glass ceiling. So if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I teach people how to receive, if you haven't gotten that already. So with that, let's talk about this blind spot around wealth. Today's blind spot is what I call the hunter blind spot. And by definition, a blind spot is something you're blind to. So if you've got that blind spot going on, you're not going to be able to detect it unless you know what to look for. And so I like to give clues that might point you to, oh, this might be the hunter blind spot that is hiding what I need to see, what I need to know in order to receive wealth. So here's the clue. You can start to get curious about the hunter blind spot and if that's sabotaging you when you notice that you are seeking. Because a hunter is seeking its target. That's what hunters do. Seeking. The vast majority of the time that a hunter spends in what a hunter does is mostly seeking. In a moment, he might find what he's looking for, or she might find what she's looking for, but the vast majority of the activity that a hunter is engaged is in seeking mode. So when we are in doing mode, when we're operating as a human doing versus a human thinking, a human being, we're seeking. So you might be seeking wealth. You might be seeking answers to wealth. You might be seeking blueprints to wealth. You might be seeking information and research. You're in constant seeking mode. Here's the problem with that. This is why the flow gates to wealth get stopped and you get stuck, because your consciousness creates your reality. And what you create, what you manifest, is a lot less about what you're focused on, but how you're focused on what you're focusing on. So you're focusing on wealth. And so people think, okay, I want wealth, focus. But you can focus on wealth and be seeking for the rest of your life. If you're in seeking mode, you will manifest seeking wealth. If you want to open the floodgates to receive wealth, you need to shift from seeking to seeing, starting to see where wealth already is in your life. Because when you are seeing wealth, you manifest seeing wealth. You manifest receiving wealth. So with that, I want to go a little bit deeper and highlight this through my Receive card deck, which has a card entitled Receive Wealth. Now, I've already done a video on this, a deep dive, so I'll include a link to that. You can go watch the whole thing that talks about the entire card and the entire teaching. But for today, I'm going to illuminate a piece that really talks about this hunter blind spot and how to shift from seeking to seeing wealth so that you can then be an invitation to wealth as opposed to the intention that the hunter has, and open the floodgates. So sit back and just let this wash over you. So from the Receive Wealth card, if we look to the realm of consciousness, we will see that there are two key differences between someone who is wealthy and someone who is not. Number one, wealthy people have the ability to take abundance for granted in ways others do not. Number two, a wealthy person spends more time focused on the abundance of resources that surround them and less time collecting evidence of lack and scarcity. If you'd like to expand your capacity to receive wealth, you must first understand that you, in truth, are already wealthy. This is your true nature. There is only one life. We are all one. We are all part of the whole, and life is all sufficiency of supply. Therefore, if you struggle, it's not because you're not wealthy, but because you do not know how to experience the truth of your wealth. Next time you become aware of lack or the desire for greater wealth, pause, breathe deeply, notice this, and ask yourself, what are all of the ways that I am wealthy right now? A powerful clue is to look at all of the abundance you take for granted. I really want to highlight this. You want to look for all of the abundance you take for granted. Remember, people who perceive themselves or consider themselves as wealthy, it's a shift in consciousness, which is the first piece that generates the outer manifestation of wealth. As I said, wealthy people have the ability to take abundance for granted in ways that others do not. Their consciousness takes it for granted, and so consciousness creates. I am wealthy, therefore wealthy manifests. That's where this idea in the physical world of you need money to make money comes from. That's just the final piece of the puzzle, but it begins in consciousness. And when we're gripped by lack or scarcity, or we're future tripping about what might happen down the future, our mind starts scanning for evidence of lack. We're seeking wealth. We're also seeking where's the lack going to come from, and it's a downward spiral. So back to this. Notice when you are perceiving lack, when you want to generate wealth. Okay, pause, breathe, And then ask yourself, what are all of the ways that I am wealthy right now? Again, look for the places you take abundance for granted. For example, I am wealthy in access to information. I am wealthy in shelter. I am wealthy in food. I am wealthy in friendship. I am wealthy in freedom to do as I please in this moment. I am wealthy in the air that I breathe. I am wealthy in green leaves all around me. If you decide to seek where you're wealthy, you will find evidence of this, and your consciousness then will be in the consciousness of, I am wealthy, I have wealth, and you're going to be in seeing mode versus seeking mode. As often as possible, focus on wealth, breathe it in, and experience it fully with gratitude. As you practice this, you will expand in your capacity to receive wealth. Your consciousness creates your reality. Wealth manifests wealth. So that's the conceptual piece around this blind spot. And then to activate the power of invitation, remember, the being model is about invitation. The doing model is about intention. Intention is good for tasks, but invitation is for dreams, is for things that you can't even conceive of, beyond what you can actually understand. You invite the essence. So when you notice that you're in lack, or simply the desire to generate wealth and you're feeling stuck and you want to open the flow gates, say this mantra as often as you like. I am willing to deeply see all the ways that I am wealthy right now. I am willing to deeply see all the ways that I am wealthy right now. So I hope that this blind spot illumination has given you an opportunity to and an inspiration to open the floodgates around wealth, to see where you're already powerful around this, rather where you might feel powerless. And if you want to really go deeper with understanding how you can become a fortunate receiver, I'm going to include some no cost and low cost next step resources that you can explore. First of all, just keep coming back to Rise and Receives. Like, share, click on the subscribe button in YouTube. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve, and I'll notify you that way next time I release another video. And I am thrilled to announce today, on February 1st, 2021, we are opening our doors to pre-ordering the cards. Finally, all of that came together. So if you would like to pre-order your own Receive Oracle card deck set with its own guidebook, and enjoy a gift bundle that I'm making available only while we're doing pre-orders, which includes 4 of my most popular classes and a companion workbook, go to receiveCardDeck.com, place your pre-order, check it out. I'm just so excited that I'm finally ready and able to start getting the flow gates open for you so you can hold your own deck in your own hands. That's one of the ways that you can tap into some next steps. You might also want to check out my brand. It's actually not new, but it's newly available, the free webinar called ReceiveClass.com, 70 minutes. Give yourself the gift of setting aside time. Go to ReceiveClass.com. That's where you're going to start to learn how to unlearn 3 hard work habits and the 3-step receiving method, ALI. It's all there. Go check it out. Plenty of information for you. And then finally, if you would like to receive my personal guidance in an email each day, 15 minutes a day, and learn how to open up a space in which to receive, because space is the invitation, check out my 30-day challenge. Just go to 30-day challenge. Actually, what is it? ReceiveChallenge.com. ReceiveChallenge.com. Check that out. And those are 3 great ways you can just keep inviting your own power to receive. It's easy. It's simple. It's a little unfamiliar, which is why we need to practice, but it's the most natural thing in the world. Have a great day, and I'll see you Wednesday at the next Rise and Receive with yet another blind spot around receiving wealth. Bye, everybody.